Welcome back, and prepare to be bedazzled, because today we're going to be shedding light on the ample reasons why most modern video games are boring to play. So, why do most modern video games not provide you with a riveting, captivating, mesmerizing, enthralling, and engrossing gameplay experience? Why do they not provide you with inordinate stimuli? Why do they provide you with a humdrum, dull, insipid, repetitious, and monotonous gameplay experience? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify the answer to those aforementioned inquiries right here, right now. Most video games subsumed under the same video game genre, or I should say most modern video games that are a part of the same video game genre are akin to one another. They are not dissimilar to one another, and because of that, they neglect to innovate the video game genre that they are a part of. They feel almost identical to one another. So the lack of innovation in modern video games can be a Brobdingnagian issue, to say the least. Because if you're looking for something novel, unprecedented, and innovative, you typically won't find it in modern video games that are akin to one another in almost every facet. Yes, they are nuanced, but their differences are subtle. They are negligibly disparate from one another for the most part. They have similar gameplay mechanics, and even their storylines can have similar plots. If you have clairvoyance and foresight, you can even predict what is slated to transpire in the storylines of video games. Another reason as to why modern video games are boring to play is because they typically require an exorbitant amount of grinding, an excessive amount of grinding in order to make inroads towards progressing in the video game. This is problematic because you do not want to complete tedious tasks. You do not want to have the gameplay experience be artificially prolonged just to be able to make headway towards progress in a video game. You want the experience to be enjoyable. You want to be able to revel in every moment. You do not want it to feel dragged out. And when it is further dragged out, your interest in the game wanes, atrophies, and tapers off. So there's too much grinding. We should not have to grind for the sake of grinding. Another problem with most modern video games is that a copious amount of them are pay to win. If you have a dearth of fiat currency, then it is going to cause you to be encumbered, impeded, and stifled. You do not want your progress in a video game to be stymied on the basis that you lack the fiat currency to buy the superior items that can help you to progress in the video game. This also harkens back to the second point. If you're wealthy, if you're affluent, if you live a posh, lavish lifestyle characterized by unalloyed abundance, then you'll be able to afford to relinquish a sizable amount of dollars so that you can fund your in-game store purchases to be able to more seamlessly, more expeditiously, and more easily advance in the video game. However, if you are destitute, indigent, and impoverished, then it's going to be arduous to progress in the video game. This is because without the fiat currency, you're more than likely utilizing subpar items in lieu of superior items, which will lamentably render you at a disadvantage relative to other players who have access to the superior items due to being able to afford to fund them with their fiat currency. Do not want to succumb to debt financing to finance the purchase of in-game items. Another issue with modern video games, which can render them boring to play, is that they do not always have online multiplayer co-op modes. And that could be eminently problematic, to say the least, if you're looking to bask in playing the game with your friends. If you want to be able to form friendships with other players, you're going to be barred from doing so. The game lacks online multiplayer modes. Online multiplayer modes should be a staple in almost every game, but for some peculiar reason, they're omitted from so many video games that would be able to more than likely profoundly benefit from them being integrated into them. It is beneficent to be able to have an online multiplayer mode integrated into your video game, since it entices people to keep coming back to play the game. And it also allows a video game to appeal to a broader target market than it otherwise would be if it was limited to just having a single player mode. I hope that you deem this video to be insightful, informative, and of course, amusing. It's quite woefully pensive to reflect on the fact that most modern video games are boring to play and are not tantamount to retro video games.